Hi everyone, so today I'm just going to show you my 3D 8-sided faceted gift box or decoration. It could be either. Now this file is available in both FCM, so a proprietary scan and cut file, but it's also available in SVG, so for anybody that's got a Cricut or any other machine that uses SVG. I have been asked several times if I'll provide my files in SVG format, so I have started to convert several of my files. So when you go to my website, which is here on screen, applelover53.co.uk, you click on the Scan and Cut tab at the top of the page, and then underneath that you will now see FCM or Scan and Cut cutting files. And then under that you'll see SVG cutting files. So if you have a scan and cut, just go to the scan and cut cutting files or FCM cutting files. And if you have any other type of machine, go to the SVG page, and anything that has been converted or that I have created, like this one recently, will now be on both pages. I just want to show you how to put it together, and I just want to explain about what's in the file. So basically in the cutting file, it doesn't matter which format you buy it in, it's exactly the same, and that goes for all the SVG files on my website. That what's included is exactly the same as what's included in a scan and cut cutting file. So you'll get the base element, which makes the gift box, or as I say, it could be a tree decoration or a decoration. You'll also get the matting layers in the rectangle shape. Now it does say there's only one rectangle shape on the mat, and it does say cut 8 of these total. And then also on the mat you'll get these 2 triangle shapes, and they're grouped like this specifically because if you have a directional pattern, when you're applying these to the cardstock or the decoration, or whatever you want to call it, treat box, you'll want to keep the orientation. So there'll be a pair of these like this grouped together, and next to that it will say cut 4 of these total. So because they're in a group of 2, you cut 4 of those, and because the rectangle is on its own, you cut 8. Now in my case here, I've used a polka dot background, so it doesn't really matter about the orientation, but I've grouped them. So this is your cutting file. Now on my original, which is here, this is how it's going to look. I cut a square out of the cardstock, the green cardstock that I'd used, that was 1 1/4 by 1 1/4, and stuck that on top to cover up the holes, because this I just wanted to be a sealed box. This one I'm going to maybe thread with ribbon and show you how it can be, an ornament as opposed to a treat box. I mean, you could put the ribbon on it even if it was a treat box, it's entirely up to you, but for this one I didn't, and this one I may do. So when you've cut your cutting file, this is the top with the holes. So what you want to do is score along here, that it's all scored for you. Then there's a score line that runs right through the middle, and then obviously these are scored because this is the bottom. So these you want to fold away from you, so like mounting folds. So I'm just going to turn mine over and fold them all away from me, and I'm going to burnish them as I go, because that way your box will look neater when it goes together. Now obviously I've done this in black card, which was probably the wrong choice for a video, because I can't see the score lines. So that's the middle score line. And then again, I'm just going to turn it over and I'm going to fold and burnish these. Then you've got a score line on the end, a 1/2 inch score line on the end. This is what's going to glue the box or the decoration together. So that's how it looks. So these now all get stuck. I'm not sure how well you're going to see this, if at all, but there's a perforated diamond there and a perforated diamond there, and these get stuck in those sections, and these get stuck in the rectangle sections. So I'm going to put them on first, and then I'm going to come back and show you how to fold the diamonds. But before I do all that, I need to fold on the vertical lines, which make the 1.5 inch section. So I'm just going to fold those first, because it might make it a little bit easier for me to see where I need to put the papers. Got one more to do. So your box or decoration is made up of 8 panels. That's what makes it an 8-sided box. So I'm just going to get some glue, and I'm going to start sticking these on, and then I'll come back. Might fast forward this bit, and I'll come back when it's time for me to show you how to fold the triangular sections. So when you're putting these on, you just want to put them on with like an even border all the way around. It's easier to see on the green. You can see how I've put them on, but on the black it's not so easy. So I'm just going to, so basically you start with the far left hand side, and then you miss a section and you go to the next one. This paper is one that I printed. It's from Creative Fabrica, so all the links to everything that I've used will be in the accompanying blog post over on my website. So if you're watching this on YouTube, under the YouTube video there's a link to my website. If you go to my website, which is also here on screen, click on the blog tab and just look for the picture of this post, and in the body of that post will be all the links to this pattern paper that I created in Canva just from an image from Creative Fabrica. And I have shown recently how to do that in the recent Canva video that's on my channel. So basically I dragged in the image, set it as a background, and I've just cut this in copy paper for my demonstration here. But if I was making this to gift, I would cut it either in a heavier weight paper or I'd cut it in cardstock. So now I'm just going to start to stick all these on, and then I'll be back. Okay, so that's how it's looking now. So what you want to try and do is, when you're lining the triangles up, you obviously want to keep them within the dashed fold line, and just try and line them up with your rectangles so that they're all, you know, at the same height. I'm just going to turn this over and burnish it down from the back. So we've got them all folded as mounting folds along the top, along the middle, and along the bottom, and on the side. Now what you want to do is fold all the triangular folds as valley folds. So you want to fold them all towards you. So the easiest way I found to do mine, but you know, find your own way, is I literally put my finger on the fold line and then just bent it, and you can then see where your fold line is and just press it from the back. So you're going to do that there and there, there and there on all of these 4 sections with the triangles. So again, I'm just going to turn it round. I'm going to put my thumb where that fold is, because these need to be valley folds. And when you turn it over, you'll see your perforations on the back that I've put in for you in the file. Okay, so again, I'm just going to work my way along, or you could use a bone folder or a ruler. Just put it where you see the fold, and then when you turn it over, it's easier to see where the dashed diagonal line is. Because obviously the better that you fold this, the better your box is going to go together. So these will be mountains, and these in here with the triangles will be valleys. Okay, so again, I'm just going to work my way along. So this is what it looks like now. So now you're going to put glue on this tab. So if you turn it over and fold in 2 panels plus the glue tab, you can then fold this over and it should line up and glue together. I'm going to use wet glue, but use any strong glue. For 3D projects or bags and boxes, I would normally always use wet glue or a very strong, you know, something like a red liner tape that's really strong. And then you just want to line this up, burnish it down and let it stick. Then I'm going to do the bottom first. So what you need to do is put it down and you're going to stick 2 opposite sides together. So it doesn't matter which sides, just opposite sides. So I'm going to put glue on here. And I'm going to bring the other one over and try and square it up as best I can. You can fold those other ones out of the way if you want and just hold on to it until it grabs. If you're using like a red liner tape, it might be easier. And then once you've got those 2 done, it's easier to then push these in where you've just folded them. Bring one over and glue it, and bring the other one over and glue it. Okay, and depending on how thick your card is, you know, this should line up pretty much even. I'm just going to put some glue on there, tuck those folds in and try and keep this as square as I can. And then you bring your last one over. Now, your last one may not line up absolutely perfectly because that will depend on the thickness of your card and obviously how well you scored these, but it should be, you know, more or less even. I'm not sure if you'll see this, but there's about a 1/16 of a gap there, but that's just because I've got all the layers underneath. So once you've got that done, if you open your flaps and get something like a ruler or the end of your bone folder and just press in there to firm that up. And then you're going to do the same with the top. You're going to bring in 2 opposites. Again, tuck those triangular folds in and 2 opposites. And you can cut a 1 1/4 inch square and put it on the top like I did here. Or I'm going to see if the ribbon I've got is going to be thick enough to go through this hole. And the amount of ribbon that you use is entirely up to you, because basically you're going to tie a knot in it and you're going to feed it through from the inside of one hole and then from the inside of the other so that they then meet, and then you're going to do the same. So you need quite a big, you know, quite a biggish hole. I don't know if this ribbon is thick enough, so I'm just going to leave it on the bolt and tie a knot. So I'm going to come in from the inside and try and pull the ribbon out until I hit that knot. Just fold them out of the way for a minute. Then I'm going to open its opposite side and feed it again from the inside out. And gently bring the 2 sections together. Obviously, if you're going to use it as a treat box, put your decorations in before you do this bit. If it's just a decoration, it doesn't matter. I'm going to feed that one through that side now and pull it over You could put an eyelet or something on this last hole if you wanted to, but I don't really think it's necessary. Right, that appears to be going together okay, so I'm just going to cut my ribbon off the bolt now, and then I've got the last piece to feed through. It's all done from the inside to the outside, and just pull your ribbon while you're pulling this all together, and it will hold your lid together. If you want to make it extra fancy, you could tie another piece of your ribbon around your top and tie that into a bow. But that is the treat box or hanging treat box decoration, 8-sided faceted box. So there it is without the holes in the top. Well, the holes are there, they're underneath. I've just sealed them up and I cut a 1 1/4 inch square to put it on top, and there it is with the ribbon as a decoration. So I'll try and get some better photographs so you can see how this looks, because you're not really going to get the full effect of it with the camera from the top. And as I say, this decoration or box is available in both scan and cut format and SVG format. Just go to the respective page under the scan and cut tab here on my website and you'll find the cutting file. So I hope you found that helpful. Please give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.